Let's get Siddharth Bhambre of Angel Broking into our conversation. Siddharth, hi, afternoon. What would the last half an hour strategy be on the index? It hasn't moved much up until now.
Good afternoon, Sonia. Actually, the last 2-3 hours strategy would have been buying 8850 call option. We are sensing still that market may close in positive around say 8920, 8930 odd levels, and we were suggesting to buy 8850 call option on dips when spot levels were around 8870 odd levels, so around say for $30. That would have been strategy, but again, if you get the dip, then only you buy it, don't buy now. That's the thing. What we have observed in today's session, that people have played safe. They have sold 8800 put option and 8900 call option and pocketed some around 6, 7, 8, 10 rupees and have not taken bigger calls of 8900 call put or 8850 call put. So people are playing safe in this expiry. That's the reason volatility is not there. But still, I feel that the way FIs have formed long positions, barring yesterday, it would be in their interest that market close higher in this series. So they may try to pull market up. And from the components point of view, because there is negative news surrounding PSU banks, so other laggards in heavyweight of index like IT, L&T not being laggard, but that stock may contribute towards last minute upward move, including ITC.
So that's said and done. It's been a spectacular January series. 9,000 is a breeze for February?
We are not very far away. If we close at 8920, 8930, we are then talking about less than 1% move. So that should not be debatable whether it would come or not. Point is that can we go substantially above that level in Feb? My guess is, or right now what we are studying from statistics is, answer to that is yes. Now, Minka, a lot of people are worried that the open interest in index futures have swelled up a lot, and in fact it is at 1.5 year high. And if you see on face of it, prices have gone up, open position have gone up, so people will say there are too many long position system, and there is good rollover also, so there is chances of long unwinding, and I completely disagree with that opinion. Reason being, you had FIs forming long position, you have HNI retail forming short position, and that is the reason, despite market going up, open interest going up, which is clearly formation of long position on face of it, still your implied volatility is quite high. Today, if you sell put option of 8,500, 8,600 of next series, your implied volatility is 21, 22. That is thing of past. Last 1.5 year, we have not seen such high IVs. This clearly suggests that people are still stuck in their short position. They are rolling their short position and selling some put option or buying some put option to hedge it. So this momentum may continue. FIs are also rolling over their positions. So I feel 9,000 would be quite a small task. We should think about much higher levels. Again here at 8,500 we have changed our view. We were no more short, but we have missed out on this rally in Nifty front, but we are going long in stocks and playing in this rally. That should be the disclosure.
All right, so what will then sort of help move these markets further higher? If 9,000 is just a breeze and we should be aiming for higher levels, will it be financials yet again given their weightage on the Nifty, etc., or would you be looking at other areas as well?
So it's a no-brainer that financials have to contribute if Nifty has to go up. That should not be discussed much. But what I feel is that despite crude oil now stabilizing or slightly negative bias, Reliance is showing promising sign that the stock may continue to rally from current levels. We have seen that how FMCG balancing act has been going on. When HUL was going on up, ITC was coming down, and vice versa. Now HUL is correcting from higher levels, ITC is moving up. Again, I stick to my viewpoint that the negative news which people are perceiving it to be negative, that the ban of loose cigarettes, I think it is not negative. The cigarette consumption would increase if the packet selling is made mandatory, and ITC can contribute significantly to this rally. L&T after small correction probably can show you a good bounce. Stocks where basically it would be more of index rather than stocks, because people are stuck in index. Bank Nifty or Nifty, there are a lot of guys who are stuck there and they are rolling over their position, and and that is where we would do our active trading rather than getting into stocks from here on. Till here on, we have been long stocks, but not we missed out on Nifty. But as and when we feel like yes, this is the point to go long in Nifty, we would.
Okay, fair enough. One pocket that has been hit the hardest this series, Siddharth, is the metal space. Hindalco, Sesa Sterlite, Tata Steel, all down about 5 to 10% after the underperformance last year. Do you think this sector will continue to stay low?
I think they would continue to underperform even if first part of Feb would be slightly better, or till the time FIs are carrying on to their long position, they would underperform because stronger dollar is not doing any good to that sector. And from the derivatives data perspective, be it Tata Steel, we are seeing 400, 405 levels. There's shorting happening. Hindalco, where we are active, these two stocks we generally track very closely. Hindalco is a good buy or is in accumulation zone between 135, 140 odd levels. So probably it may not correct significantly from current levels, but may not go up either. So around 138, 140 you buy, you sell 150 call option for Feb series. Feb series is smaller series in terms of duration, and IVs are high at this point of time. So time value decay would be faster. So Tata Steel I would sell on rise, and Hindalco I will play covered call.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I just wanted your view on what one should be doing in the Feb series with the mid-cap index. There has been a degree of outperformance we've seen in the last couple of weeks. Any index or stock-specific strategies that you would recommend in the mid-caps?
Stock specific, yes, because there are some stocks which are doing good. In fact, Tuesday we were mentioning to buy IOC. Our technical guy was suggesting to buy HPCL. Both are doing well. Tata Chemicals and UPL are other stocks which they have recommended to go long on. They are doing well. What I sense is mid cap as a whole may not go up, but selected stock would go. Why? Because those people who are still short and rolling over their short position, they will try to cover up their losses by going in some high beta large cap stock, mid cap stock, which would probably they feel would do wonders for them and may get stuck there also again. So I won't touch mid caps, barring few names which I took, and probably as and when we get some good ideas from very short term perspective, like from 3-4 days perspective. Otherwise, if someone asks me that will I be more overweight mid caps in last 200-300 next 200-300 points in Nifty? My answer to that would be no. My main preference would be index and then large cap. I may not touch mid caps, barring few stocks here and there.
All right, now the market is picking up just a tad bit. In fact, it's moved just a bit into the green now. The Nifty 89.20. Up about 9 odd points. Do you want to give us any VWAP strategies for the last half an hour, or it doesn't make sense, Siddharth?
I don't know whether I don't follow it. I feel VWAP people take it the entire month average, but people tend to square off their positions in between, and I don't believe in that VWAP funda. But what my statistics were saying, that Nifty will probably show you a pullback towards 8920, 8930, and that is where we could have expected expiry, and yeah, we are there, I guess.
Siddharth, a quick question on how some of the big FMCG stocks have done in January and whether you expect the strength to continue. So Hindustan Unilever, Asian Paints, are these stocks that you would continue to bet on moving substantially higher from here on?
No, I'm not comfortable. Honestly, we have missed out on these rallies which have come in HUL and Asian Paints. We have done some trading, but not, we have eaten the entire move. But it may sound biased, but I'm not expecting significant rallies from current levels. These rallies happened when markets were quite turbulent. People were running for safety and finding stocks where the input cost would reduce, and that is where the fund flows were moving from a safety perspective as well. Now when you're seeing that the FIS flow are fine, we are talking so big in terms of macroeconomy, how the push would happen. I don't think so the fresh fund allocation would go to these names. In fact, it is quite possible some of the funds would move out of these names because they have done really well and get into high beta space. So I am not very optimistic on these names from current levels, and if I want to do something over here, then I am buyer in ITC at dips.
Okay, what do you mean by high beta space? I mean, I think if you look at the sectoral index performance for the month, realty, consumer durables, capital goods, these are all sectors that have done very, very well. High beta would mean realty for you. High beta would mean infrastructure or capital goods for you. What would you pick?
I'm picking only large caps. That is first thing. And when I say high beta, I am predominantly talking about banking. I'm predominantly talking about oil and gas space. I'm talking about.
But you just said there's no point talking about financials. It's a no-brainer. So I suspect that bit of the strategy is not much of a strategy.
Yeah, so I was coming to the other names like DLF. That is one stock, which we are liking. That stock has shown a breakout. Most of the people have given up on their positions around 140, 150 odd levels. People have written call option. Those call would get exercised and they may have to leave their delivery and the stock may show, further upside momentum. ITC, I mentioned whether it's high beta or not, that is debatable. RCOM is one stock which we are liking, though the negative news pertaining to spectrum pricing, I don't think so RCOM has much to lose over there. Bharti and Idea are much bigger losers. I spoke about other stocks like oil marketing companies. Now this disinvestment thing is running on. People feel that stock would be under pressure, but I feel stock which are candidates but have not yet the disinvestment is not yet announced, like ONGC, NMDC. These stocks may show you good run up. Just like in Coal India, if you see, fortnight back the stock was trading around $50. I went to say $350. Now stock went up and now you're saying we'll give 5% discount. So same stuff can happen in stocks like ONGC and NMDC in say next couple of months, that these stocks can move up 15-20% up because you want to come out with disinvestment strategy, and then you will announce that we are giving you 5 to 10% discount. So it makes a lot of sense to buy these stocks now, and when they give you 10 to 12% upside, move out. So these are few names apart from index where we would be trading with positive bias. Now this is predominantly on back of what FIs are doing, and right now they are positive. Tomorrow if they change their view and they start unwinding their position, I'll change my view.
All right. Well, the market action is now hotting up, so it's suddenly up about 0.5%. Menka, the expiry related factors are now playing out, and in fact Dr. Reddy's is the big gainer, suddenly spiked up. Of course reported a very good set of numbers as well, but now that stock is up almost about 4%.
In fact, Sonia, you want to add to that Sun Pharma as well, BHEL as well, JSPL, Sesa. These are all stocks that have seen big moves. Bharti Airtel, so look at Sun Pharma, that's a huge spike just in the last 5 minutes or so. BHEL has done fabulously well in the last half hour. Sesa, Bharti, Ambuja Cement, ITC, that's been talking about it. That's done very well in the last half hour or so. So a bunch of stocks. And L&T, as Siddharth pointed out, which might be one of the leaders that will help the markets close in the green today, if that's likely to be the case. L&T is also spiked up quite a bit.
Yes, and that would be a fitting end to what has been a fabulous series, would it not? I mean, the Nifty has gone up about 8% this series, and today as well, it just proves that the bulls have complete control of this market.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure about complete control. There's nothing ever complete, and I'm sure Siddharth will warn us both about that. But yes, it will be a fitting end, and as he pointed out, it will be an intentioned end to the series because he was quite accurate in calling the fact that it will turn positive towards the end of trade, and that's exactly what seems to be happening at this point in time, Sonia.
All right, so I just wanted to get one more strategy out of Siddharth. Siddharth, the pharma space, we've got some good numbers coming in. Technically, the stocks are looking strong. Anything from this space that you would buy with a positional view, with sort of a medium-term view in the market now?
As I was mentioning, would be a bit skeptical to put some money in defensive space. So pharma may not be a preferred pick, but as you're asking from medium-term perspective, I might just, play safe and throw my house call that, we are bullish on Dr. Reddy's and Ipca from a medium to long-term perspective.
All right, so a quick question from within the financial space in this no-brainer strategy. What stocks appeal to you the most in February?
When we say no-brainer, it doesn't mean that you don't require any brain to make money in financials.
I'm quoting
but just
you,
that it has. No, what I meant is the weightage is so high in overall index that markets cannot go up if banking is not going.
No, of course I get that. I'm just teasing you. What stocks stand out for you from within the financial space, and will it always be a large cap private sector bank play for you?
not necessary. We have seen, how PSU banks have corrected, but I believe not all banks would come out like numbers which OBC came out. So there is some sort of overreaction which is happening at this point of time. We would be buying Bank of India around 270, 275. That's one stock which we are keeping eye on. If we get SBI around 310, 315, that would be a trading buy again. Yes, private sector space, again, because of the weightage thing, it should, be in favor that Axis Bank is doing well. I think that momentum would continue. I won't create fresh long position, but the momentum may continue. ICICI Bank, I'm a bit worried. If stock technically has shown, some weakness. So if this weakness persists, then probably if I want to balance out my portfolio within banking, then ICICI Bank would be sell on rise for me.
Okay, final question, Siddharth. What would be your preferred strategy for the Nifty and the Bank Nifty as we go into this next series, in the early part of this next series?
I think first week or first few days, this momentum is going to continue. Again, I'm saying we have missed out on this rally from index front, but stocks will be playing positive. So my strategy would be forming bull call spread, because IVs are high, IVs will decline. People are feeling that, that in Feb series, because of budget, the series is going to be volatile. But mind you, most of the action these days are happening outside budget, and budget is technically in March series, not in Feb series, because it's on 28th and Feb series finishes on 26th. So call and put IVs are very high. I would try to do some range bound trading also in Feb series, where probably I'll short 8,800, 8,700 put and 9,200, 9,300 call option and eat the premiums.
Bank Nifty?
Sorry?
Bank Nifty?
Bank Nifty, yeah. Bank Nifty, again, it may not, outperform Nifty. So again, the range there would be like 1,000 points on the upside and the downside. Maybe this might be the strategy, but then first we are going on the higher side of the range. That's what I feel.
All right, so that we'll leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us.